What do you understand by child psychology? And meanwhile, let me switch to our next slide is class 1 introduction to child psychology. Okay? So we are on introduction to child psychology. So let us understand with the definition of child psychology. Okay? Child psychology is the study of cognitive, emotional, and social development of children from infancy through their adolescence. Okay? Let's break the child psychology word in two parts, child and psychology. Okay? Can you define psychology? Please define what do you understand by psychology? How will you define psychology? You all are in your BSc, BA, MA, MSc. You have been here with 3, 4, 5 years of experience into psychology subject. Please define psychology. You have to be interactive. You have to respond. The classes are recorded. The team of NextZenAcademy will be watching everything who all are interactive. Of course, on behalf of that, you will be getting your appreciation letter, participation certificate. In fact, if you can get something more benefit also, you can ask for. So Neela Chandra study of behavior, cognitive responses, processes, good, focus on children's psychological process, study of yes. See, psychology is the study of human behavior. Psychology is the study of behavior, cognitive process, organisms' behavior, their behavior, cognitive process, emotions, everything. Okay? And in child psychology, we study each and everything of children through their infancy, from the very beginning of their infancy till the time they become young adults or adolescents. Wonderful, Vidisha. So, psychology refers to where we study and focus on understanding human behavior, cognitive processes, and their feelings. Wonderful. And you know what psychology is? In Hindi, we say manovigyan, मन का विज्ञान. Shibi doing MA psychology from Saint Xavier. Oh, Shibi, hi Shibi. So you also, है ना? One more was from, I guess, if I'm not wrong, so Neela Chandra was from Kerala, and you too. So ठीक है. You, many of you are friends. I got to know. Okay, ठीक है ना? So मन का विज्ञान. Can you tell me what do you mean by man? Do you know any English word for man? We generally say आज मन नहीं लग रहा, मेरा मन नहीं कर रहा. But what is the thought? श्वेता, अगर thought है मन, then what is विचार? Mind. Okay, mind. Bhavish, mind. Yes. No interest. No, no. Yes, we can say mind. ठीक है? Okay, mind. Then what is brain? Feelings are इच्छा. No. Okay? Thought, feelings, emotions are no, no, Shweta, no, I'm just asking one thing, man. And ठीक है, थोड़ा बहुत response I can come to know that mind is very clear. Organ. So भविश ने organ बोलकर कहानी खत्म कर दी. That's it, ma'am. Now you decide which organ, where organ, what kind of organ. I've given you the answer. Now you decide which organ. Wonderful, Bhavish. Can you give me the difference between mind and brain? Or do you know that psychology, the psychology is a word from which language? I hope I'm audible to you. When I stop getting responses, I think that I just recheck my all devices. Am I audible? Am I not? Okay, see, psychology. If we can break the psychology, it can be breakable into two words, psyche and logy. Okay? So, psychology is a Greek word. Greek. Please confirm me if I'm clearly audible to you. And all right, Shweta, thank you so much. See, psychology is a Greek word and it is made up of two words, psyche and logy. Logy means the study and psyche means soul. So psychology is the study of soul. And I hope that I'm making you clear that we are not talking about black magic or something, that psychology is study of soul, but psychology, the study of soul, study of life, study of humans, their behavior, their breath, the principle of life. And while coming to child psychology, everything about child. And yes, there is a difference between mind and brain. Brain has a particular location in our body, while mind doesn't have any particular place, location in our body. But yet, it plays very important role in our body, in our brain, in our heart. Till the time we can control our brain, then it's fine. But the day, the moment, or the situation where brain, our emotions, our feelings, or our mind started to control our body or to start to control our brain, then something disorder, some kind of distress start to happen. Isn't it? Getting my point? If getting my point, give me a thumbs up. If you have any kind of doubt, any kind of um, issue, please ask. Great, wonderful. All right, very good. Someone wants to say something. All right, just wait. Shweta Kyal. Wait, please, Shweta. You want to say something? Shweta? Can anybody listen, Shweta? What she's saying? Shweta? No, beta, you are not clearly audible to us. Anybody else who wants to say something? No one. All right. Shweta, you wanted to say something, but you were not clearly audible to us. You were not. Somebody else also joined now. Who is that? Nandini Babu. So Nandini, have you ever joined any another batch as well? Okay, Shweta, it's fine. Nandini, I think that you have joined some other batch as well. Have you? Okay, technical glitch. Fine, fine. Okay. So till now we have understood something more, something about child psychology, more about psychology. Let's give me some, let's give you some more in-depth detail. So basically, I'm giving you an introduction to child psychology. I wanted to give. Okay. So child psychology is the study of how children grow, how children think, how they feel and interact with others. from their birth to adolescence. And now you will say that छोटे बच्चे बोलते थोड़ी हैं, छोटे बच्चे सोचते थोड़ी हैं, but they behave, but they interact in their own language, but they feel, they show their emotions. There are some milestones. Till 0 to 6 months, they have to do something, they have to achieve this thing, they have to uh, grow this much, their weight should be this much, everything. So they should achieve their particular milestones, and that is a part of their development. And this we have studied here to understand their development from their birth, infancy to their adolescence. And it helps to understand how children develop mentally, emotionally, socially, and behaviorally. Now, why child psychology is important? Can you tell me why child psychology is important? Please help me understand why child psychology is important. Please make me understand why we should learn about child psychology, why we should study. Wonderful to understand a child's problem in different fields and helps him. Early experiences can impact future personality. Very good. Okay, so it's going to be 35. Um, please respond. I hope that you don't have any problem for Kubra to break her fast as she's going through Ramzan. ठीक है? So I want to give you all one activity कि आपका भी time waste ना हो जब तक हम आए. ठीक है? So I'm giving you one question. ठीक है? And 10 minutes break. Give me the response of that question. Why do you want to learn child psychology? ठीक है? Give me the answer of why do you want to learn child psychology? So this is the one question I'm asking you. ठीक है? Kubra, are you there? No, all right. So Charumati, Shweta, they are fine, and we don't have any problem. ठीक है? So Kubra, you can take 10 minutes of break, while others, you can, ठीक है? So please write down and firstly analyze. We are giving you 10 minutes for the same. This is one activity. ये मैंने activity आपको आगे पता चलेगा. ये मैंने already plan कर रखी थी to have this. ठीक है? Analyze and then write it in only a one message. Why? और खुद को explore करके. ठीक है? You can take the help of technology, Google, ChatGPT, whatsoever, because we all use that. But आपने उनको hints तो अपनी देनी है. You have to explore your mind, your soul, whatsoever. Just want to know. And I need a brief explanation, not one word, one line. We are not here to judge you. We are in a non-judgmental situation. And after this course, you will come to know more about yourself. Self-awareness bhi hogi. So write down why do you want to learn child psychology, and we will meet you after 10 minutes. All right. Bye. All right. I hope that Kubra is also done with the iftari. And so we have so many replies. Very nice. So D. Charumati, understanding child development, learning how children grow emotionally, socially, cognitively helps us in guiding them better. Okay, so it means that your perspective is like more of a parent than as a counselor or a child psychologist, isn't it, Charumati? That your perspective is more of a no teacher also. Amrita, I've always been fascinated by child development and behavior, and I want to gain a deeper understanding of how to support their emotional and psychological well-being, and this also helps us to shape the overall future. Wonderful, very good. Nandini Babu, to understand how children think, feel, develop emotionally, socially. Wait, chat goes down. Okay. Socially and cognitively, it helps parents, teachers, caregivers support children's growth, improve communication, and address behavioral or learning challenges. Professionals like psychologists and educators study to provide. Oh, again and again, chats are going downwards. Okay. Uh, Behavioral or learning challenges. Professionals like psychologists and educators study to provide better care, diagnose issues, and create supportive environment. Understanding child psychology also helps in early intervention for mental health concerns and contributes to research and policy making. Wonderful. You have given such a depth your like response to be a good child psychology or you why you want to learn child psychology. So Nandini, again, I personally want to learn to provide the care and diagnosis and correct intervention to improve their concerns. All right. So Nandini, you have a clear intention. Why do you want to study child psychology? But I make you clear that diagnosis is for diagnosis part, you have to be RCI or basically a special educator, you can say, or RCI clinical psychologist for the diagnosis part, assessment part, because hmm, for that part. As per Rehabilitation Council of India, you are not allowed to do the diagnosis part until you are RCI, until you have RCI license. I hope that you are aware about that. And Shweta, in today's internet and media world, parents are not able to give proper guidance to their child. It's not about internet or media, it's about the stress or the workload both the parents are having. That is the main part. That is why they are not giving the proper time. It's not, they are not giving, the time is not, the time is very limited. Uh, and the chats were, so Shweta. So due to changes in, wait. Due to changes in lifestyle, many families are living in a nuclear life structure. Yes, therefore, children are not able to get help which they need. A child's age is full of confusion. They need help to decide about their academic, vocational, and many other fields. I want to help them and assist them in their problems, so I am learning child psychology. Yes, you all are right in some or the other way, but do you think that you will be a child psychologist in the future, or you will be the school counselor or the child therapist or nurse? You can be anything. Or even teachers. So, Vidisha, I'm interested in child psychology because I'm somehow fascinated with how children act out like there's no filter, their actions and how they express. And as adults, most of the times we properly don't understand them. So, yeah, I want to understand them in a healthy way, which won't let me make any wrong decisions towards them thinking I'm the adult and I'm always right. Yes, yes. But children, children or toddlers, infants, adolescents, they are not with a manual. So as per and you there is a skill. It is more of a skill rather than the theory part, that how you have to deal with your client or with a child. Each child is different and they teach you how to behave with them or how interventions will be done. Yuvraj, to better understand children's behavior, perspective, and cognitive pa- uh, patterns, to enhance and improve us and them for their better well-being, future and present. By studying child psychology, we can help children keep their perspective in a non-judgmental environment so that we can better understand their perspective also, and based on that, we can apply and implement intervention for betterment. Wonderful, Yuvraj. You have good experience about that and you are very clear. Wonderful. Neela Chandana. Sorry to mispronounce your name. So I like to know about how children think and feel. I want to be the safest place for children I know, to know more about inner child. Yes, so your answer is more of a parent or counselor, we can say, or the children support or caregivers. So Bhavesh Verma is saying humans set their roots of life at the early age, fetal to teenage. Anything happening during this period follows till their end. It plays a critical role in shaping individuals' mental, emotional, and social well-being. Understanding children, their behavior, reason for that behavior, their emotions, and how do they evaluate us. All these things will help us improvise their developmental stage, be it in a supporting parenting styles, diagnosing and treating disorders. I've reached the word limit. Otherwise, you would have given your answers in more words. I think that, okay, no worries. Very good, very good. So, Krishna Anshu Gupta, I have zero interest in studies, so I want to make studies a little bit more fun by designing appropriate learning strategies for different age groups. Wonderful. So you have no interest in studies, but still you want to make studies of fun for. Great, great. You can go to Shark Tank, I'm sure, with this kind of pitch. Wonderful. Vaishnavi, I want to do child psychology so that the issue can be addressed at the earlier stage so that they can have a good life ahead. Yes, it is very crucial and critical to analyze the behavior and to like to get notice with their behavior, with their emotions, with their expressions of like the tiny toddlers or even the primary class teachers. They should also we can analyze, we can address at the very earlier stage. That is why the government has advised or made in the new education policy for the inclusive studies. I hope that you are aware about inclusive study. Inclusive studies is in that policy, special children and normal children. Special children can study with or along with the normal children, and special educators are in the schools. Teachers are given trainings about special children, their symptoms. Months are April is autism month, ADHD month. So mental health awareness programs are being conducted in schools, NGOs, colleges, so that they can become more aware about disorders, so that early intervention can take place. Nandini is doing MSc psychology. Okay. So now, Payal, I'm interested in child psychology because I want to know what impact our behavior has on them and what do they feel physically and mentally. Yes, this basically comes in puberty as per their scriptures and as per their generation. What kind of scriptures are you talking about? What difficulties do they face? And if any child is born with some difficulty or disorder, then they need someone who can understand their things and support them and believe in them. Very good. Nice. But exceptions are always there, as we have seen in one movie that has come off. What was the name of that movie? Let me search. Shrikant. In Shrikant movie, we all have seen that he was blind since his childhood, but still he was very studious. Uh, he completed his graduation, that too in science stream. Instead, it was not allowed for him to do, but he fought against that. He wanted to play cricket, being blind, or we can say special. So you can do anything, and or sometimes somebody having very minor problem, then also he or she curses themselves. Why they are like that? Why they are like this and all? So exceptions are always there. We have to deal according to the situation. If you are ready, if you can compromise and you can accept the situation and then move ahead in a positive note, then it's very good. Then you are okay. And you know what? We, as you will be the child psychology, you want to know more about child psychology, you have to prepare the child. You have to make the child to see the particular situation, how to deal that. You can provide them career guidance, you can provide them time management skills. It's not about only mental disorders. There are so many things. In fact, if you are being school counselor, you can come to know so many breakup uh, concerns also in very tiny, tiny class. I have seen fifth class, seventh class students, they come for counseling just because of they are having difficulty in moving on situation. Oh, that is why. Yes, Payal. So I was wondering about scriptures. What kind of scriptures you are talking about? It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Yes, situations, always situations. And being a good counselor or being a good psychologist, you have to make your client, you have to make your child self-sufficient to deal with that situation in future time. You don't have to make them depend on yourself. Of course, the more number of sessions they will be coming to you, you will be getting money, but no. You have to make them ready. It may think that one or two sessions can be extended, but yes, you don't have to make them depend on yourself. You have to make them self-sufficient. Okay? Should we move ahead? Give me a thumbs up if we can move ahead. All right, great. So let's move ahead. And next part is scope. What do you think? What is the scope of child psychology? Okay. These are some of the key areas where we can see the scope of child psychology. Okay. Hmm?
Just
Just
read
read
it
it
and
and give me some sort of thing, or don't read it. Just tell me by yourself what do you think, where is the scope of child psychology as per you? Okay? Write on something, what do you think, where is the scope of child psychology? All
Fine.
right. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. So wonderful. Many of you are. Oh, wonderful, Neela Chandra. I've seen now that instead of giving thumbs up, you are giving moon. Why? Very nice. Okay. So, educational settings, Krishnanshu is saying, by the way, very nice name you all have. Bidisha, very nice is wonderful name you all have, Bidisha. So she is saying educational setting, career counseling, yes. Payal, health and educational setting, yes. Kubra, clinical, applied areas such as parent-child relationship, child development, disabilities, yes. And Yuvraj, academic, behavioral, career-oriented, clinical setting, criminal offense research and development, yes. Those juvenile setting, juvenile we have now, Bal Sudhar Grah, that where child psychologists are there. ठीक है? So let's understand each and every the key areas of scope for child psychology one by one. ठीक है? Okay. So basically, see, child psychology is a vast field with multiple branches that focus on understanding, diagnosing, and helping children develop emotionally, socially, cognitively, and behaviorally. Okay? So many points are written here, different areas within child psychology and career opportunities we can say here are mentioned. ठीक है ना? So the very first one is uh, developmental psychology. Sorry, what do you understand by developmental psychology? Can anybody? What do you understand by developmental psychology? Anybody try? Okay. And developmental stages from infancy to childhood. Yes, yes, this is. See, suppose we say now, somebody comes to your house if you're having a baby, then what will they say? 6 months का हो गया है, अभी तक crawl नहीं करना शुरू करा. 7 months का हो गया है, haven't you given any top feed? है ना? These types of developments we say, है ना? Oh, it's 1.5. He or she, the baby's turned 1 year. He must have started saying mama, papa. These are the developmental milestones that we have set. Yes, according to them only. ठीक है ना? Feel that the studies human development from conception to death. Oh, it's very, it's very vast. You have told in a very broad way. Okay, ठीक है. So let's understand what it is. See, developmental psychology examines how children grow and change physically, cognitively, socially, emotionally over time. See, these are the four words: physical, cognitive, social, and emotional. These are the four words which will be going on throughout the course of child psychology. And developmental psychology studies factors influencing development. Now, development can include genetics, environment, and life experiences also. ठीक है ना? So here in development psychology, yes, as many of you have said, so we learn about stages of psychology like infancy, childhood, adolescence. है ना? जैसा पियाजेट्स ने बताया हमें, द थ्योरी ऑफ पियाजेट्स कॉग्निटिव डेवलपमेंट, है ना? 0 to 6 months is this age, 6 to 12 months is this age, है ना? Like infancy, toddler, phallic stage, adult, young adult, adulthood, that thing. And then come the language and speech development. How children acquire and develop language skills. Then moral development. How children learn right from wrong. And you know what? This thing is also given by a psychologist. Can you name a psychologist who had given moral development, who has researched about moral development? Kohlberg. Psychologist has given the moral developmental psychology. Also, we learn about attachment theory in child psychology, the role of early relationships in emotional development. Have you ever seen very young baby, very young child starts crying whenever mother starts going out somewhere, father? That is attachment. And it is career opportunities. We will come to know about all the career opportunities later on. Now coming to the second one is behavioral psychology. Now what do you mean by behavioral psychology? See, behavioral psychology focuses on how children learn and respond to their environment. This is what the definition of behavior, how we respond to any situation, how we behave, है ना? So it emphasizes behavior modification and reinforcement strategies to shape behavior. And of course, it has so many things we have learned: classical conditioning, operant conditioning. कुछ ध्यान आया? कुछ याद आ रहा है? Have you ever read about classical operant conditioning? Or should I give some example? Rat, dog, experiments. Good, Neelachandana. Yuvraj, yes. That comes under behavioral part. ठीक है? So behave or applied behavior analysis, ABA therapy, very popular these days among child psychologists. It is used to improve social communication and learning skills in children with developing disorders. जिन जिनको developing disorders होते हैं, जो सही time पे developing milestones नहीं achieve कर पाते, then we apply behavioral analysis on them to improve their social communication and learning skills. There are some learning disabilities. For example, suppose कि कोई बच्चा है जिसको थोड़ा सा टाइम रहता है ना? um, for example, very simple example, when we were in school days, there were few students who used to say, "Ma'am, please don't drop the board. Ma'am, please don't drop the board. We are left." You know? And there are few students who have done, yes, Pavlo and Skinner, very good, Krishnanshu. Wonderful. You were the first bench, first bencher, very studious, good. Okay. So there are few students now who are unable to write on time. These kind of very minor disabilities I'm talking about, not very um, severe disabilities. Okay. Also, there is one more thing we learn about in behavior therapy, behavioral development is behavioral modification technique. How we modify the behavior, and it is used in treating ADHD, autism. So ABA is applied on very mild child, child children, but behavior modification techniques are applied on special child with autism disorder, with ADHD, or aggression also in children. I hope that you are aware about ADHD, autism a bit, their symptoms and all. Hmm. Okay. Then coming to educational and school psychology. So what it is? with the name only we come to know na. Educational psychology studies how children learn, process information. School psychology applies psychological principles to support students' academic, emotional, and social well-being. Okay? Now here we have so many different concepts we can use in school and educational setups like special education needs है ना, providing tailored learning plans. For example, in education settings में क्या होता है schools में, ठीक है, या तो special child होते हैं या थोड़े mild, sometimes anxious, exam related stress, टाइम मैनेजमेंट प्रॉब्लम्स वो हो सकते हैं, या स्कूल में ब्रेकअप इश्यूज हो सकते हैं, या somebody is in misbehaving, वो इश्यूज हो जाते हैं, ठीक है ना. तो फर्स्टली विल बी लर्निंग अबाउट स्पेशल चिल्ड्रन. अब उसमें क्या होता है, all teachers are not aware, or not everyone is not aware how to behave, how to deal with special children, ठीक है. So special education needs are provided by special educators, so that they can provide a tailored learning plan for children with disabilities and provide it to the concerned person who are in direct touch with those special children. Also, classroom behavior management. They can provide techniques to support positive behavior in school. अब कोई स्पेशल चाइल्ड होगा, बाकी बच्चे तो मजाक उड़ाएंगे. They tease and it is very common. Now we have to provide the classroom behavior management to other children, not to behave inappropriate to the one person. Cognitive learning disabilities. There might be some disabilities, dyslexia, ADHD, autism, है ना? To provide interventions for learning difficulties. या फिर हम ऐसा कर सकते हैं, some learning styles, intelligence theory, so that, like for example, how children learn differently. We have different multiple intelligence theories given by gardeners. Remember, we have given some multiple intelligence theories given by Gardner. किसी को याद है? Hmm. Should I give some hints? What's thumbs up? I need some answers. Spatial, musical, kinesthetic, interpersonal, intrapersonal, naturalistics. Education is not limited only academics. ठीक है ना? There might be somebody who is more interested or more skilled towards music. हो सकता है कोई इंटरपर्सनल स्किल्स में बहुत अच्छा हो सकता है कोई इंट्रापर्सनल स्किल में बहुत अच्छा हो, है ना. जिस चीज में आप अच्छे हो उसको और उभारने की कोशिश करी जाएगी rather than rote learning. That is why good schools, and majorly all schools are now, have included extracurricular activities. And also extracurricular activities are included in your CVs. Curriculum vitae resume is also included in. You are also given extra points while giving interview for your college, while government jobs also. Yes, Bhavesh, very good. One more first bencher in our class. Clap for him. Linguistic, logical, spatial, musical, kinesthetic. Yes. Very good, very good. Okay. Now, coming to the next part is clinical counseling child psychology. Okay. So, what is this? A clinical counseling psychology focuses on diagnosing, treating mental health disorders in case if you are RCI. Okay. In children, it helps children cope with emotional, behavioral, social challenges. ठीक है, हमने सब पढ़ा. अब इसमें क्या होता है, चाइल्ड थेरेपी टेक्निक्स यूज होती हैं. For example, CBT. Are you aware about CBT? Write down the full form of CBT. Or also we can use some play therapy, art therapy, mandala art, expressive art, whatsoever. Okay? Also comes assessment and diagnosis part. So here psychological testing for mental health conditions like anxiety, depression, trauma is done by clinical or counseling child psychology. Parent family counseling is done helping parents to support children emotional well-being irrespective of the fact by pressurizing to study hard to do this that whatever but to make a good parent family parent child relationship and also intervention for trauma and abuse are done providing therapy for children exposed to adverse childhood experiences. It can be sexual, it can be physical abuse, anything. Rape victims also. Some very minor girl has been raped. But these days you can come to know that boys are also sexually abused in their early childhood. Have you all heard about POCSO? POCSO? Very good. All for cognitive behavior therapy. ठीक है ना? So for that also it is being done. Now coming to the family and social psychology. What it is? Family and social psychology. So basically it studies how family dynamics or peer relationships or even we can say social environment influence child development. This is what all about family and social, how your peer group is influencing you, how social environments, how your family is. If your family, if you have ever, every time seen, since ever, you have seen your parents fighting with each other, then it is 100% sure that you will be having relationship issues or you will be afraid to be in a emotional relationship. कहते हैं ना बच्चों की बुरी संगति हो जाती है. It can be that your family is very good, but you have been into such a bad relationship during your adult health that it has made you a bad human being. There are chances that is why it is highly advised to parents to be in touch with your children during their puberty. Let's make them friend instead of giving them pressure. Very good. All right. Okay. Now next is health and pediatric psychology. We all know what does pediatric mean. ठीक है ना? So health psychology explore the connection between mental, physical health, helping children to cope with medical conditions because we all know pediatrician, child doctors, है ना? उनकी हेल्थ के लिए डेवलपमेंटल माइलस्टोन्स के लिए वही यहाँ पर we use child psychology. Now, it is used for chronic illnesses, for example, like psychological effects of conditions like cancer, diabetes, asthma. Right now, small children are dealing with such kind of illnesses. Pain management, stress reduction, um, suppose God forbids it should not happen, but yes, very small children are suffering with such chronic illnesses. So for that, some techniques like relaxation therapy, mindfulness, biofeedback are being done so that they can have some pain management or stress reduction for their mm, for their chronic illnesses. Okay. So coming to now child and adolescent counseling, ठीक है ना? So it basically provides emotional and behavioral support to children struggling with mental health challenges, trauma और डेवलपमेंटल इशू. ठीक है, अब इसमें भी हम यही करते हैं चाइल्ड एंड डेवलपमेंट काउंसलिंग करेंगे तो हम थेराप्यूटिक अप्रोचेस लेंगे एंड विच इज द मोस्ट कॉमन एंड वेरी इफेक्टिव therapeutic approach. Can you name something? Can you name Very useful, very commonly used therapeutic approach. Which is the therapy we commonly use? Name one therapy. वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड, यस कुब्रा कृष्णांशु सीबीटी। ठीक है ना? तो वही इसमें सीबीटी यूज होती है, एक्सप्रेसिव थेरेपीज यूज होती हैं, प्ले थेरेपीज यूज होती हैं, बिकॉज वी कैन यूज प्ले थेरेपी इन एडल्ट्स ऑल्सो, बट with child adolescent it's very common to start with play therapies. Helping children cope with trauma. हो सकता है उसको कोई ट्रॉमा, और ट्रॉमा इज नॉट ओनली लिमिटेड टिल sexual or physical, but it is also with grief. We don't know that the child is suffering with depression because of the loss from best friend. He has lost because the child has lost his best friend, or it might be great grandparents. वो भी तो प्रॉब्लम हो सकता है ना, दैट इज ऑल्सो अ ट्रॉमा। और बुलिंग, बुलिंग कैन ऑल्सो, बुलिंग इज वेरी कॉमन इन चिल्ड्रन, हो सकता है। या फिर बॉडी शेमिंग, ठीक है ना? एंड वी ऑल्सो टीच them communication and emotional regulation, which helps them for social skills and self-esteem building. We also support children with academic stress and social adjustment, which helps them for school-based interventions. Now these days, from 8th standard, 9th standard, children start preparing for their NEET, JEE along with their schools. So every time, no, there are chances that school students are not getting good marks in their school report cards. And the fact they say that in their institute from where they are planning for entrance exam for their college, their syllabus is different, and in school the syllabus is different. That's why they are not getting good marks, and the pressure of their parents are high, or those teachers are very high on them, and they also want to take part in their school debates, sports and all. तो बहुत चाव हो जाता है। ठीक है, now coming to the neuropsychology of childhood disorder. Now what is this? See, in this, we study brain behavior relationships in children with genetic, developmental disorder, and even neurological disorder, because the name ही heading में ही है neuropsychology. ठीक है? Now in this we comes to know or we understand about the neurodevelopmental disorder. वो कौन से होते हैं? ADHD, autism, learning disability. अब neurodevelopmental कैसे होते हैं? वो पैदा होते हो जाते हैं by birth. ठीक है? Cognitive rehabilitation, helping children recover from brain injuries or strokes. कभी कभी होता है कि इंजरी लगी ब्रेन में, तो उसके लिए भी उनको हेल्प करते हैं। और sometimes evaluating their memory, attention, executive functioning, and also how young brains adapt to injuries and disabilities. ब्रेन प्लास्टिसिटी इन चिल्ड्रन। अब वो क्या होता है, मान लो किसी बच्चे को चोट लग गई, कोई प्रॉब्लम आ गई, डिसऑर्डर हो गया, डिसेबिलिटी आ गई। नाउ हाउ टू हेल्प देम सो दैट आगे के लिए प्रिपेयर हो पाए वो। हियर चाइल्ड साइकोलॉजी बहुत मैटर करती है। वहां पर आप न्यूरो साइकोलॉजिस्ट के साथ या न्यू साइकेट्रिस्ट के साथ वर्क कर सकते हो आप फॉर द काउंसलिंग ऑफ चिल्ड्रन। Now forensic child psychology. What is this? Forensic में child कैसे आ गया? Here it applies psychological principles in legal settings involving children such as child custody cases, abuse investigations, juvenile issues. अब यहाँ पर क्या आता है? For example, how children recall, for example, divorce is happening of parent, and then the court is asking from the child किसके साथ रहना है, मम्मा और पापा, है ना? तो here we can say that child witness testimony comes, and here now child have now कैसे पता चलेगा? You being the forensic child psychologist, you can ask from the children to recall or report some evidence or some events कि कौन अच्छा है, mama या papa, to look after for you, or to understand how abuse affects children's ability to testify, or psychological support for at risk youth. कोई क्रिमिनल क्राइम हो गया, वो जुवेनाइल में प्रॉब्लम फेस कर रहे हैं, नाउ वी हैव टू प्रोवाइड देम सपोर्ट सो दैट वो यूथ में आके ऐसे क्रिमिनल एक्टिविटी ना करें। ठीक है? They all are interrelated, but yes, you have to know about each and everything in a bit more detail. Now, research future trends in child psychology. Basically, here we explore advances in child psychology research and emerging trends in mental health care. As the name research always say, ठीक है? तो अब इसमें ये भी हो सकता है like the digital media's impact on child development. Here it is said कि 30 seconds की रील देख देख के बच्चों को aggression issues हो रहे हैं. AI and psychology based learning tools are there. Or we can adapt AI for education. And there are so many types of trauma informed care in schools has been started कि जहाँ पर अगर एकदम से प्रॉब्लम हो गई है, ट्रॉमा आ गया, बच्चे को कोई प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, so that we can start with early intervention plans or programs. Of course, very digital mental health care, online counseling, teletherapy. Like this is the future कि टेलीथेरेपी होगा, ऑनलाइन काउंसलिंग्स होंगी, हैंड टू हैंड होगी बच्चे को, तो ये सारा ठीक है. ओके, सो आर वी क्लियर टिल नाउ हियर? आर वी क्लियर? यहाँ तक हम क्लियर हैं, एंड वी विल बी लर्निंग अबाउट करियर opportunities in our next another slide. Are we done till here? If you all are done, give me a moon. Come on, give me a moon. Good, good, good. Oh, wonderful. Black moon, Bhavesh, why you have given me a black moon? Black smiley. Wonderful, Bidisha, Payal, smiling faces. Krishnanshu is also giving me a black smile. Why? All right, so we are moving to the next slide, that is importance of understanding child psychology. ठीक है, अभी तक हमने देखा कहाँ कहाँ पर स्कोप है, where all child psychologists can work, but या फिर स्कोप कहाँ कहाँ पे है, वो कहाँ कहाँ पे चाइल्ड साइकोलॉजी आगे फ्यूचर में यूज हो सकती है. ठीक है, नाउ थोड़ा बहुत और डिटेल में, व्हाट इज द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग चाइल्ड साइकोलॉजी. आई आस्क्ड यू अ क्वेश्चन in a break and you responded me very well, but now let us understand in more detail as a theoretical way whatever is in our course. Okay. So basically, see, understanding child development is very crucial for parents, educators, caregivers, psychologists. It helps in fostering healthy growth, identifying potential issues early, as you all said, and ensuring children reach their full potential. Okay. So now let's start with the first is early identification of childhood. Sorry, early identification of developmental delays. So observing a child's physical, cognitive, emotional, and social milestones help identify developmental delays such as speech disorders, learning disabilities, even autism also. If these kinds of disorders have been identified early, so we can much clearly, like, not we can cure, but we can work early on them. In fact, in early identification, we can also, it can also lead to timely intervention. अगर पहले बच्चा नहीं बोल पा रहा है, so we can provide them speech therapy. Also, it helps to prevent long-term challenges. Why? Because we are addressing the issues at a very early stage. Giving you an example, for example, a child struggling with speech by age 2 might benefit from early speech therapy rather than waiting until the school age. If the child is 2 or 2 points, so we can start with speech therapy. Okay. Now coming to the second part is enhancing cognitive and emotional growth. Now why it helps? We understand how children learn, process emotions, allows caregivers to support their intellectual and emotional development. It helps in developing patience, resilience for children to deal with. Also, it encourage problem solving skills, creativity. Let's take an example. For example, like activities, activities like puzzles, even storytelling, play like enhance cognitive growth while teaching children to name and express their emotions, fosters emotional intelligence. So these types of skills are to be used. Effective parenting and caregiving. अब इसमें क्या हो सकता है? We can like it helps parents adopt appropriate parenting styles. Not to shout. Also, it guides parents in responding to parents' emotions and behaviors in nurturing manner. For example, understanding that tantrums are a normal part of a toddlerhood. Now, it will help parents to remain calm and respond effectively instead of punishing the child. Improving educational strategies. How? For example, educators, teachers can adapt their teaching methods based on children's cognitive abilities and learning styles. For example, a child with ADHD, he might benefit from shorter lessons or visual aids or even interactive activities instead of traditional lecture based teaching where he might start sleeping. And also improving educational settings strategy. Now, supporting mental health and well-being. It helps in recognizing signs of anxiety, depression, stress in children. For example, a child experiencing frequent nightmares and social withdrawal after a traumatic event. It may need counseling to process their emotions. You know? So we encourage positive coping strategy, emotional resilience, and it may provide early intervention strategies for childhood trauma and stress related issues rather than waiting for their adulthood and to make their life more problematic. Then building stronger parent child relationship. You know? It can like to understand child development. Uh, It can foster better communication between parent and child. It also encourages empathy, patience, positive reinforcement, and it also helps in resolving conflict and misunderstanding between parent and children. For example, a teenager. A teenager struggling with independence may need space and guidance rather than strict rules, helping strengthen the parent-childhood bond. If a teenager he wants to be independent, so what parents do, parents make strict rules, but it will worsen the parent and children relationship. So here they should know that the proper guidance should be given to make a proper bond between parent and children. Now coming to understanding behavioral pattern. So behavioral pattern generally help differentiate between normal childhood behaviors and potential behavioral disorders. It allows parents to guide and correct behavior in a supportive way. Also, it reduces misunderstandings and some expectations which are not even existing in reality. For example, well, let's take an example. For example, a 5, 6 year old boy who lies occasionally, lies, झूठ बोलता है, and is likely exploring imagination. While repeated lying in a 12-year-old may indicate an underlying emotional issue. Here we are working on the developmental milestone. 5 साल का बच्चा एक इमेजिनेशन बना के झूठ बोल के कहानी बताता है, वो ठीक है. बट वहीं अगर एक 12-13 साल का, फॉर एग्जाम्पल 13-14 ईयर, इज अ टीनेजर and he's like lying with imagination, that is emotional issue. Now promoting social and emotional skills. ठीक है. Now what it does is it supports children in developing essential life skills like empathy, cooperation, and conflict resolution. It encourages healthy peer relationship and social interaction. It prepares children for teamwork, leadership, and even communication in adulthood. Okay, now coming to the developing age appropriate interventions. This is also very important. It helps in designing interventions that suits our child developmental at levels. It provides tailored support for children with special needs. It ensures that therapy, education, activities are aligned with the child's ability. वो नहीं कि ये हो गया और ये हमको खत्म करना है. Why I give a 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minutes time for the same? Because अगर एक question है, whatever I ask a question might be, Payal is taking 1 minute. Payal has the answer in her mind, so she will just write it down. क्योंकि उसने पहले से ही सोचा हुआ है why she wants to learn child psychology. But वही कृष्णांशु ने नहीं सोचा हुआ. Krishnanshu might take some time to think and rethink why wants to learn child psychology. वही शिबी ने peer pressure में आके ज्वाइन कर लिया. उसके फ्रेंड ने बोला तो she joined just she I'm sorry I can't Shibi just joined the course. They don't know about any why child psychology or just for the exploration part, है ना. तो हर एक बच्चा अलग अलग होता है, जरूरी नहीं है कि एक ही टाइम पर सब हो जाए. So to make child, we have to design the education, therapy and activities as per the child's ability. Now coming to the last part, informing public policy and child welfare programs. Now what it is? It helps in creating policies that support child welfare education and mental health. It also aids in setting legal standards for child protection, core curriculum and healthcare. And you know what? It also ensures that resources are allocated to support at risk children. That is why policies are made now. For example, laws against child labor and programs for free early childhood education are based on developmental psychology research. छोटे बच्चों को काम नहीं करने देना, चाइल्ड लेबर नहीं करना, अभी उनको स्टडी की जरूरत है, या फिर प्रोग्राम्स फॉर फ्री अर्ली चाइल्डहुड, इवन मिड डे मील्स वर इंट्रोड्यूस्ड to make more and more child to come and attend school. So are we done till here? Now give me a star if you are done till here. Quickly give me a star. In case if you have any doubt which is coming to your mind apart from this, then also you can ask me. I'm telling you, nobody will judge you. Nobody will judge your insecurity, security whatsoever. But if you are done, give me a star and then we'll move. Wonderful. So the first star is by Bidisha, Bhavesh. I need 11 stars. Oh, Kubra's given 3. I was just wondering कि Kubra सो ना गई हो खा के. I'm sorry in advance if I'm telling the wrong gender. Wonderful. ठीक है? So moving ahead. So we are moving ahead. Now we will be learning about the career opportunities in child psychology. क्या क्या career opportunities हो सकती हैं after learning the child psychology? ठीक है ना? So first, child psychologist, as we have in the child psychologist, clinical counseling school में, then child therapist or play therapist in school, then counselor, special educator, pediatric psychologist, researcher in developmental psychology, forensic, child psychologist, educational psychologist, and so many. ठीक है ना? So let's understand one by one. ठीक है ना? Child psychologist क्या करते हैं? Clinical counseling में, ठीक है ना? They work with children facing emotional, behavioral, developmental issues. They may diagnose, treat mental health conditions like anxiety, depression, even ADHD and trauma. They use in therapies, as we know, CBT, play therapy. We have all studied now. This is all they work. Okay. Now, child therapists or play therapists. They use talk therapy or even play therapy or art therapy to help children express their emotions. There are chances when children are not able to speak. So there, you might have must have seen in so many web series or movie जहाँ पर वो साइकोलॉजिस्ट आते हैं, दे गिव अ पेन एंड पेपर टू अ चाइल्ड एंड ड्रॉ समथिंग, और फिर वो एक विलन की या ब्लैक शेडो की इमेज बनाते हैं, देन वी कम टू नो दैट समथिंग इज बॉदरिंग देम, है ना. This helps children to cope with trauma, anxiety, grief, behavioral pattern. We have seen in Tare Zameen movie also, na, that the Shield Safari uh, create drawing in a diary. So good. I don't know what kind of drawing is this to say कि पहले वो मम्मा पापा के साथ हाथ पकड़ के होता है, then you turn the pages, वो दूर होता जाता है ना. So he expresses his feelings through that painting or drawing, we can say. Now coming to school counselor or special educator. Now they support students' emotional and academic well-being. They help children with learning disabilities, social issues, career guidance. They work with teacher, parent to create a supporting learning environment. Coming to the pediatric psychologist, they specializes in children's mental and emotional health in medical settings. They can even provide medicines also. They help children cope with chronic illnesses, surgeries, hospital anxiety. They work with doctor, nurses. Now coming to the researcher in developmental psychology, here we studies child developmental disorders. They conduct research on parenting styles. You must have seen so many Instagram ads also if you have opted for child psychology, then through the help of AI, you must have got so many Instagram reels जिसमें parenting styles पे कर रहे हैं. There are so many parenting coaches also nowadays. Works in universities, research institutions. Now coming to the forensic child psychologists, as we have learned, कोर्ट में चाइल्ड वेलफेयर सर्विसेज में वहां पर सारे चाइल्ड साइकोलॉजिस्ट यूज होते हैं ना फॉर लीगल केसेस एंड ऑल. देन एजुकेशनल कंसल्टेंट, दे एडवाइज स्कूल्स ऑन करिकुलम डेवलपमेंट. स्पेशल नीड बच्चों को कैसे पढ़ाओगे? हाउ विल यू डू द इंक्लूसिव सेटिंग? वहां पे एजुकेशनल कंसल्टेंट आते हैं. ठीक है. आर वी डन नाउ? Should we move ahead? Should we move ahead? Now we are coming to the last part. It's the activity time. ठीक है. तो हमने first activity कर ली icebreaker. I wanted to know why you wanted to be child psychologist. Why you want to learn child psychology? हमने ये activity already कर ली. अब आ रहा है case discussion. Real life scenario where child psychology is applied. अब आप मुझे बताओ एक रियल लाइफ सिनेरियो. अभी तक तो हमने ये सारे थ्योरेटिकल, वी हैव स्टडीड ऑल दिस थ्योरी, व्हाटएवर इज इन सिलेबस, व्हाटएवर इज इन बुक्स. Now you tell me, as per you, any real life is scenario where you think child psychologist was or would have been there to help you. There are two scenarios I am giving you. ठीक है. एक तो ये जहां पर आप हाइपोथेटिकली सोच सकते हो, जहां पर रियल लाइफ सिनेरियो में चाइल्ड साइकोलॉजी होनी चाहिए. सेकंड, अगर आपको लगता है आपको कहाँ पर चाइल्ड साइकोलॉजिस्ट की नीड पड़ी थी ड्यूरिंग योर चाइल्डहुड. कम ऑन क्विकली. Very good, Krishnanshu. A child having dyslexia dealing with alphabet BD. Yes, we all have seen this in very common movie also. Vidisha is saying real life scenario or example could be when a child fails or lags behind in studies and both the teacher or parent fail to understand that their child might be going through something, or rather than just blaming that he or she is too naughty. Very good, Vidisha. Neela Chandana is saying dealing with low self-esteem due to bullying from school. Yes, yes. Common example, very common. Wonderful. So I'm expecting the same answers from you all also. Are you writing? Kubra is saying Helping a child with separation anxiety after divorce of parents. Very well said. Yes. And you know what? There was a case with me जहाँ पर divorce के बाद the daughter was with her mother. Hmm? And divorce has happened such an early age where the girl child was only 6 months, 8 months old. Okay? Now the woman was living with her parents. The woman was calling his father Papa, and the child also started calling his her grandfather as Papa because her mother was saying the same thing. ठीक है? Now her biological mother is Mama and her biological grandfather is Papa as per the girl. Okay? And nobody asked a question. Nobody. उन्होंने ऐसे ही बच्चों को बनाया. Now the girl grew, came to school in first, second class. Till that time also she was saying मम्मा पापा मम्मा पापा. ठीक है. अभी तक उसको ये नहीं पता कि मम्मा पापा क्या कैसे होते हैं. ठीक है. Now during school when her nana used to drop her in school, her peers friends started saying why your father is so old, why your father is so old. Until that time also that child उसको यही लगता था that वही मेरे पापा हैं. एंड आप ये सोचो एक 7-8 साल के बच्चे को फर्स्ट सेकंड क्लास के बच्चे को उसको आपने इमोशनली इतना खराब कर दिया रिलेशनशिप इश्यूज ही नहीं समझाए. अब उस बच्चे को आप कुछ भी समझाओगे उसको ट्रस्ट इश्यूज डेवलप हो जाएंगे. ठीक है. तो पेरेंट्स को बहुत सही से एक्सप्लेन करना पड़ता है. हेल्पिंग अ चाइल्ड विद डेवलपमेंट. ठीक है. सो वी आर डन. Now moving to the last slide here. Today what we have learned. Okay, so we have learned the basics of child psychology and its real world applications. We have learned the key developmental stages and factors influencing child growth. Major psychological theories Piaget, Erikson, Vygotsky. हमने ये सब पढ़ी थोड़ी थोड़ी. Practical strategies to support children's mental and emotional well-being and how to apply child psychology in education, parenting and counseling. ठीक है. I hope you like today's class. We will be going to
our
our
next
next
class.
class next day. ठीक है. Is there any doubt? Is there any problem? Query? ठीक है. So should we end our class? If I would say I have been given with the very good batch. I really liked you all. You were interactive and your quality of your responses were up to the mark. I liked it very much. And I hope that you also liked me. ठीक है. So thank you for today's class, being so humble, being so interactive, being so patient. ठीक है. So see you in your next class. Till then, bye. Take care. Gain some knowledge. Get some doubts to clear in our class, and that's it. ठीक है. Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye. See you. Take care. You may leave the meeting.